Hello everyone, and welcome to another video at my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a card featuring the Camper Crazy Stamp Set by Close to My Heart. I'm also going to be using a thought bubble from the Dimensional Elements from the Artiste cartridge collection. And we're going to be doing an A2 size card, so when folded that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Going to be using some paper from Echo Park, the Sunshine stamp set, paper pad, and just a piece of this tomatoey cardstock that I had in my stash. So let's get started. Okay, these are the papers that I've decided to use out of the paper pad, and I've stamped off some of the trailers, and the little card on the car on the paper was facing that direction, so I'm going to have to use that one, and I think that's a perfect size anyway to go with that car. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is take my little thought bubble, which I am going to put the RV There Yet stamp on, and you can see it fits great on there. But I think the first thing I'm going to do, and let me zoom in a little bit on this, is I'm going to ink it up a little bit with some Distress ink, and I'm going to be using Spiced Marmalade. So this is a new little stamp pad, so I'm just going to get that inked up, and I'm going to start off the paper and work my way on. This way you don't get any harsh lines from the circle of your stamp pad. And also, if to keep from getting your fingerprints on it, if you just take a scratch piece of paper to hold it, then you won't get any fingerprints on it. I decided to go with the Spiced Marmalade because I'm going to be cutting the sun off of the paper from the paper pad, and so I thought this might look like a sun on the page. This bright kind of orangey color. Okay, I think that looks good. Put the lid on that. Now, very easily to store the little pads in the bottom. That way you've always got the right color spongy thing with the right color ink. Alright, so now I'm going to stamp this on here. Bring out my acrylic block, just pick that up and get my little spongy thing down there. And oops. Now, I think I'm going to emboss on this, so just let me get my embossing supplies. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my stamping embossing supplies. So first I'm just going to use my Embossing Buddy powder bag, and that's just so the embossing powder does not stick to any places on your piece that you don't want it to stick to. Keeps your embossing very clean. And so I just inked up my stamp with the Versamark. Stamp straight down, straight back up, and then take my black embossing powder, just dump that right over the top of it. Okay everyone, I've got all my papers cut, so let me just go through this real quick with you. I have a red layer that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then my little fishies that are going to go on top of it are 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'm going to have another red layer that's 3 3/4 by 5. I want to be able to see some of those fishies. And then our decorative paper is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And I'll be coloring this little camper to put right here with some Copics, and then I'll have our sun with our sentiment right there at the top. For my camper, I'm going to be using Copics Y15 and 13, YG 23 and 25, R17 and R5, and C3, C5, and C7. Yes. All right, so let's get started coloring. I decided to do mostly just two-tone shading or two-color shading on this little image. It's so small that you really don't need to do any more than that. In a lot of places, just single colors are just fine. So with the camper, I'm starting with my darkest color, the R17, and I'm putting it on the bottom. Like the sun is at the top of the page, so that's my light source, obviously. And so then my darkest color is going to be at the bottom and around the windows and things, anywhere you'd have some natural shadows. And then I'm just filling in the rest of it with the R5. Just real simple. This is a small image, so you know, nothing fancy is needed. So after I get it filled in, I just come back just to with my darkest color just to reinforce those shadows a little bit. Just give it a little bit more depth and dimension to it. And then once again, I just take my lighter color and blend out the edges there. And then I just color in the door. I'm going to put some of the darker on the bottom and up the sides just a little bit. And then I'm going to fill in with the lighter color. I'm going to go underneath the window just a little bit with the darker color because there'll be a little bit of a natural shadow there. And then I'm just going to reinforce that dark just a little bit like I did on the rest of the camper underneath the window again. Alright, next I'm going to go to the greens. I'm going to start with my dark green, and I'm going to trace over the lines that are in the stamp. Your stamps usually give you some indication of peaks and valleys, or you know, where to shadow and stuff. And again, I'm also going to do the dark along the bottom. And then I'm going to come in with my lighter color, the 23, YG23, and just fill that in. And I'll go back with my dark once again just to reinforce those shadow areas. There's not a big contrast between the YG23 and the YG25. Just like on my reds, there wasn't a real big color difference between the the R5 and the R17. Even though that's a 5 versus a 17, you look at the second number, the 5 and 7, those are real close together. So that's going to make them real close in the kind of shade of the color. Alright, now I'm going in with some yellows, and I'm just doing like the light in the windows, and my original plan was to do the curtains yellow, but then I decided, well, I can't do the light in the windows and the curtains yellow because then they would just blend in. So I decided to go back with one of my greens for the curtains. And then for the little blinds in the window, I'm just going to use some grays, and I'm going to do the shadow areas with the C5. Okay, I went ahead and adhered these two pieces together and these two pieces together. Then I got out some craft foam, and I've got a couple pieces this size that I can run through this size Xyron sticker maker. Run this other piece through. And then I've got this little piece that I've cut down Just run it through this small Xyron maker, sticker maker. The Xyron sticker makers, they're available at your local craft stores. You know, just get a coupon and get them. And I just like on the small one, it has this film that you have to peel off, and so if you run your finger around the edge, then it kind of breaks that adhesive in there, and you don't have any like little strings of adhesive or anything, so it just comes off real clean. So the craft foam that I bought had adhesive on one side, so I had to put the adhesive on the other side. So this is my adhesive for my foam for my little trailer. It's cute. And let's see, I did have this little piece tiny piece that I cut off that I'm going to stick right over the wheel, and I'm not going to worry about putting adhesive on that part, that little wheel part. Okay, so now I've got these big ones because I want to pop up this whole panel. And if you send these things through the mail, sometimes they can crush if you just use pop dots. So I like to just take some big pieces of craft foam and use those to pop up my big layers. So you got small places, obviously you use the little pop dots. Or if you're not sending it in the mail, then you just use the little pop dots. Alright, get the back peeled off. Let's see if I can get this centered on here. That looks pretty good. Alright, let me get my cute little trailer. Put it there behind my car. Alright, and now just need to put my sentiment on. I'm just going to use my ATG gun for this. Put that right about there. That's looking pretty good. Okay, now I just need to put adhesive all over the back so I can adhere this to my card base. Bring in my card base. Sometimes this is easier than others to get this lined up just perfectly. Got it pretty good. Alright, so there's the outside of our cute little car. Are we there yet? RV. Are we there yet? Alright, so on the inside, let's go back to our stamp set. And I love this one. You make me a happy camper. So why don't we just grab this one, get us a stamp block, and we'll just grab some Memento Tuxedo black ink. That's what I had handy for when I stamped the trailers since we're doing the Copic coloring. Alright, better put down our little squishy things, make sure we get a good impression. Just add a little more ink on there. It's a new stamp, so I'm just going to leave it on there for a second, peel it off. That looks great. Okay, let's see. Maybe we could put this little camper on here, like down in the corner or something. Let's see. Let me grab some other ink. I grabbed some poppy ink. Ink up this little guy. Stick him down in the corner. Cute. Okay. Now let's take the little tree and we'll ink it up with some pear. And we'll just put one tree here, and we'll put like a half a tree over there. That looks good. Alright, then the only other thing we got, if we want to add it, we got to have this little puffy cloud. It's kind of cute. Why not? What we'll do is we'll just ink it up in the black. Maybe do a second generation. And make sure to get it inked up all the way. Second generation stamping. Right up there. Okay. That's cute. Alright. So here we go. The outside of our card. The inside of our card. Alright, so that does it for our card made with the what's the name? Camper Crazy stamp set by Close to My Heart. So this is just one of the many wonderful stamp sets available at Close to My Heart, and so you can get this possibly free right now in the month of March during the Stampaganza. It's buy any 2 stamp sets, get one free. And so I encourage everybody to go and check out all the stamp sets and to take advantage of this awesome offer while it lasts. It only lasts the month of March. And also check out the clearance section. There's some great items on clearance right now too. So, you know, stock up while these great sales are going on. All right, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.